Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So the NBA season starts in a few weeks. We're already on, the NBA preseason and stuff, man. So for today's video, what we're going to do is the over-under game when it comes to this next NBA season. So obviously, as you guys see on the screen in front of you, we got projected wins, and I have to decide if I think that team will be over or under. So that way, towards the end of the regular season, over on my second channel, Extra Crispy, which you guys should totally go subscribe to, I can, look back at this and react to it and laugh at myself for the horrible, horrible decisions or great choices, hopefully, that I made, right, man? So here we go. We got all 30 NBA teams. All these teams looking different, new rookies, new veterans, LiAngelo Ball. Things are going to be different, man, this NBA season. So here we go with the first team. Looks like it's in alphabetical order, assuming that A is the first letter of the alphabet, followed by B, C, D, E, F, and G, man. So here we go. The Atlanta Hawks, projected win 35, last year 20 and 47. So this is definitely one of the most improved teams on the NBA season, getting Gallinari, Rondo, Clint Capella's going to be healthy, ready to go. Obviously good draft picks and stuff, man. So as far as this goes, I think definitely over. I do think the Hawks are a playoff team, and this would put them right around like that 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to say over, man. I wish they could do like over, under, or like right at. But I'm going to say roughly 36, 37 win team at least, man, in my opinion. And I got to sign in. This is awkward. Give me 1 second, man. That took a lot longer than expected, guys. Okay, so I said over for the Atlanta Hawks. Next up, we got the Boston Celtics, 45.5 projected wins. They have with a record of 40 and 24 last season. So I think Jason Tatum is going to take even another step this season, man. You'll obviously have Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker is going to be ready to go. Love the addition of Tristan Thompson. I feel like he's going to be extremely valuable, off the bench, just giving them a different dynamic center from Daniel Tice. Obviously lost Gordon Hayward, but with Jaylen Brown and having Marcus Smart, I feel like the lineup's going to be fine anyway. So do I think they're going to get more than 45 wins? I do see the Celtics being around a 50-win team next season, man, for sure. So here we go. Over for that. Definitely optimistic so far, man. Okay, next we have the Brooklyn Nets with a 45.5 projected win. Once again, man, I think they're going to be like a top 2 or 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. You got Kyrie Irving, he's going to be healthy, ready to go. Kevin Durant, it's come on, man, that's going to be one of the best duos in the entire NBA. Assuming they can, stick it out and come together as one and just, make a crazy dynamic duo, man. So I'm going to say yes, over for 45.5. Okay, next up, we got the Charlotte Hornets. So in my opinion on this team, man, it says 26.5. They were 23 wins last year. Obviously, there's going to be some sort of development period with LaMelo Ball. I do think it's going to take a little bit of time to figure things out. Gordon Hayward, you got to hope he can stay healthy and everything. I don't think the Charlotte Hornets are going to be all that good next season, man. I do think it's going to take LaMelo Ball a season or two before he really figures out the pace and just really, not really just so much the pace, but also the ability to just kind of pull back at times and rely on your teammates. Devontae Graham, is no longer going to be taking a billion shots. I don't think Terry Rozier probably gets traded, I would have to assume, because, he went to the Hornets with the idea of being a starter, which is not going to happen now with having Devontae and LaMelo Ball as your backcourt. So I'm going to say probably under, man. It's going to be some growing pains for the Charlotte Hornets, but in time, LaMelo will get there. All right, next up, we do have the Chicago Bulls with a 30.5 win projection out here. Interesting team. I mean, obviously, they don't have Jim Boylan anymore. Patrick Williams is going to be, I don't know, man. He's going to go either way next season. I got a feeling he's going to be a good player. I got a feeling he is actually going to be in contention for Rookie of the Year. I don't know why, man. I just feel like he is going to be like that steal of the draft that everybody looks back on. It's yo, man, we definitely slept on this guy. Kind of like Kristaps Porzingis on the New York Knicks quite a few seasons ago. I think just the team being healthy, too. Kobe White's going to take a jump this season, probably being the starting point guard of the team. I wasn't completely happy about some of the lack of offseason moves they did. I was kind of hoping they would have bolstered up their bench a little bit more, but I think just having a new coach is going to be good, man. So I think 30 wins, I think that's definitely, the realm of possibility. Being around that 31 to 33 win mark, I think definitely over for that one, okay? There we go. Next up, Cleveland Cavaliers. So Darius Garland was obviously the starting point guard last season. As far as big-time changes that they made, they drafted Isaac Okoro. Tristan Thompson's no longer on the team. You got Kevin Love and Andre Drummond, which rebounding-wise is a good front court. But if it's anything, I've kind of seen that Drummond doesn't really lead teams to wins. Kevin Love, I don't think is as big a factor as he used to be back in the day. Isaac Okoro, will be a good player in the NBA, but I'm not really seeing a superstar right away. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing the 23 wins. I'm seeing closer to that 19, 20 win mark. I still think Darius Garland has more development to do. I'm going to say under for that. All right, next up we got the Dallas Mavericks with a 41.5 projected win. Now keep in mind this is with Kristaps Porzingis being injured at times. This is with Luka Doncic was injured at times. As far as the roster being improved, Dwight Powell's gonna be back from injury. Josh Richardson should be a pretty decent fit. I'm gonna say over for the Dallas Mavericks. I think they're gonna be a really good team, and I think Luka's gonna be in contention for the MVP award again. Assuming he can stay healthy. Now that's what goes without saying, man. This is assuming health for every single one of these teams, right? All right, next we got the Denver Nuggets. Projected wins only 43, really? They were 46 and 27 last year. Jamal Murray, in my opinion, man, going to be a projection for most improved player. I mean, he's already improved. He's already a great player, but I really think he could take maybe that higher tier all-star leap where it's like he's not quite a superstar, but you definitely recognize him out there in the regular season. Losing Mason Plumlee, Jeremy Grant's not fun, but Michael Porter Jr. is ready to go. Bol, hopefully get some good PT out there. I'm going to say over. I have 2 unders so far, man. Okay. Next up, we got the Detroit Pistons. Projected wins of 24.5 with a record of 20 and 46 last season. I don't think they win that 20. I don't think they reach that 24.5 win mark. I do think that, Dwayne Casey and Troy Weaver is really going to focus on rookie development and guys like Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin. I think for sure Derrick Rose traded by the trade deadline. Blake Griffin maybe we'll kind of see. But yeah, definitely under with the chance of being the worst team in the NBA, which I'm okay with because that means hopefully a good lottery pick next season, right, man? So under for them. Golden State Warriors, 39.5 projected wins with a 15-50 record the previous season. Obviously, that was with not having a lot of great players due to guys being injured. But this time, Curry is back. So I have the conference. So 39 wins would put you, if you guys can see that, in the Western Conference, 39 wins has you as the 8th seed. And I think Curry, you got to give him the respect at least of getting the 8th seed. James Wiseman, Draymond Green's ready. I love Kelly Oubre, Andrew Wiggins. Hopefully Steve Kerr can get him, playing to his full potential. I'm going to say over for them, man. That seems a little disrespectful to Curry, saying projected at 39.5. Next up, Houston Rockets. Okay, so this one I'm going to say under, and the reason is because I do think that James Harden is going to get traded at some point in the season, and that team's going to go on a full-on rebuild. It's just too much, stock on guys like John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins who have really bad injury histories. Christian Wood was good for 10 games for the Pistons, so we'll see if we can continue that uptrend, but obviously that was on the Pistons last year, and they were not a good team, so assuming James Harden's gone, I don't really see him being that big of a difference maker in the win-loss column. So I'm going to say under for the Houston Rockets. Pacers, 39.5 projected wins, over. This team always gets disrespected in projections like this, man, and they always prove otherwise. So Oladipo should be back healthy, ready to go. So, Sabonis, Miles Turner, TJ Warren, Malcolm Brogdon. I love that starting 5, man. So yeah. Next up, we got the LA Clippers, 47.5 projected wins. Okay, so I don't think they're going to reach that near 50 mark. I'm going to say they'll be around 46, 47 wins next season. I do think guys like Kawhi Leonard are probably still going to continue to do load management. Losing Montrezl Harrell was a big time loss. Obviously, Lou Williams, I mean, he's another year older. I think Luke Kennard, honestly, is going to be pretty nice for him, man. Not, no pun intended right there. But you still got Kawhi Leonard. But the Western Conference very stacked. I'm going to say under, but just barely, man. Just barely have them under. I'm going to say around 46, 47 actual wins on the season. Lakers, 48.5. Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting, man, just because I do think LeBron James, despite he's going to say the right things and stuff, but I do think he's going to be taking off a little bit of time at the beginning of the season because it wasn't the NBA season did not really end that long ago, all things considered. But with that being said, man, they did get Montrezl Harrell. They did get Dennis Schroeder. They were literally the 2 top 6 men of the year guys last year. So that right there by itself is huge. It's hard to say. I mean, how many 50-win teams were there last year? Well, there was one, okay, but it was a shortened season and stuff. So, because I feel like this record's kind of off. Is that accurate? I don't know, man. It probably is. I'm going to say over. I'm going to say they're a 50-win team again, no doubt. Memphis Grizzlies, projected wins 30.5, 34, and 39 was their 2019 record. This is where it gets a little stingy out there because it's okay, one of these teams, because even looking at last year, the Grizzlies were the 9th seed out there, right? So do I feel like they're going to make that big of a leap? I think they're better than 30 wins. They got to be better than 30 wins. I'm going to say over for them. Miami Heat 43.5. This team, Tyler Hero is going to be up there for most improved player, no doubt. Goran Dragic should be healthy. I love Precious Achiuwa. I love that addition on the team. That was absolutely perfect. They lost Jay Crowder, but I think he's replaceable. I'm going to say over. I mean, this team was in the NBA Finals. Let's give them the respect, right? Milwaukee Bucks 49.5. This team's always really good in the regular season. Drew Holiday is better than Eric Bledsoe. I think that pretty much sums it up right there. Giannis is really going to be going full throttle, man. So, yeah, over for them. T-Wolves 30.5 projection. Okay, so that's roughly an 11-game increase from last year's record. I'm not quite seeing that big of a jump. The power forward spot, they still got to figure out. D'Lo is nice and everything, but let's see an entire season of that first before we really give them this type of, projected win. I'm going to say under, man. I'm going to say probably around like 28 win team, right? So, yeah. Okay, next up we got the Pelicans, 35 projected wins, 30 and 42 last year. Zion for a full season, assuming health, him with Brandon Ingram, is obviously going to be good for at least a 35 win team. I'm going to say over for that. New York Knicks, I'm not seeing like a ton of roster improvement this offseason. I mean, getting Obi Toppin's nice, but they got to figure out what they're going to do with Julius Randle. Still don't really have much for the point guard spot or really shooting guard spot, assuming, RJ Barrett's a small forward. So I'm going to say under, but just barely. I think they'll be right around that 21 win mark yet again. OKC Thunder 24 wins, 44 and 28 the season before, obviously a way different team. Shea is going to be putting up crazy-ass stats. I don't think it's going to really be enough to lead this team to too many wins just because they're going to get other parts out there and they don't really have them yet. They got a ton of draft picks, just not really the parts. So I'm going to say under for that, and they'll be the top 3, in the lottery for next season, which is a good thing for them. It's exactly what they need to do right now, right? Orlando Magic, projected wins 31.5. I'm going to say it sucks that they lost Jonathan Isaac. I'm pretty sure he's out for the entire season. Not really a lot of opportunity for Mo Bamba to continue to develop with Vucevic still being on the team. Aaron Gordon, I feel like, has plateaued as a player. Once I got to start my TV real quick here. That 33 win mark, I'm going to say they'll be right around that 31, 32. I would say 33 is pretty accurate. I'm going to say over, but only by a few wins. Only by a few wins in this case. 76ers, 43 wins last season, 43 projected this season. They are a better team this season. And assuming everybody can stay healthy, I just love the makeup of the roster so much more. I'm going to say over, guys. I feel like the 76ers are going to be dangerous this year, especially in the regular season. Next up, Phoenix Suns, 38.5. We saw what they did in the bubble. 8 straight victories in the bubble. Chris Paul, what he did for the OKC Thunder. You got to be assuming he's good for at least +5 in the win-loss column for this team. I'm going to say over, man. Losing Oubre kind of sucks, but hopefully guys like Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson kind of step in and fill that void. Okay, next we got the Portland Trail Blazers. Full season of Nurkic. Love the addition of Rocco. I'm going to say over. They're healthy. They're healthy, man. So, yeah. Sacramento Kings, 27.5. I'm going to say under. I love De'Aaron Fox. Having Buddy Hield on the team and just solidifying him as that starting 2 spot is a good thing, chemistry-wise, but Bogdan was a really nice player for them. Marvin Bagley, hopefully he stays healthy. Hassan Whiteside is a pretty empty stats type of player. I would have to say under for that. Okay, next up we got the Spurs. Spurs are difficult, man, because, you see names like DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge, and you're like, okay, those are 2 big names, but is it big enough names due to age, style of play, where at this point, it's going to be that big difference in the win-loss column? I mean, you look at the Western Conference, man, somebody has to be down here. It's not going to be the Pelicans. It's not going to be the Warriors. I like a lot more what the Suns and Grizzlies and, Trailblazers are doing as opposed to the Spurs. I feel like they are in a full-on rebuild now. And while, LaMarcus, Rudy Gay, DeMar DeRozan are still names, I don't think they're difference makers as being, the main guys of a team, man. I'm going to have to say under for them. And I don't mean disrespect to the Spurs franchise. It's just, they're in a rebuild, so that's a good thing. Raptors, wow. That's disrespectful. 53 going down to 41.5. Okay, I know you lost, Marcus Gasol and Serge Ibaka. Those are good players, but Chris Boucher is really nice, man. That is disrespectful. Definitely over. That's a no-brainer. Y'all think 41 wins? My God. Utah Jazz. Ugh. I feel like that 43.5 feels about right. Bojan will be back healthy. Mike Conley hopefully will be closer to his Memphis Grizzlies self. Derek Favors was a nice pickup for the bench unit. Hopefully, I'm going to say over. And then the Washington Wizards, 33.5, which puts them in the Eastern Conference right around that 8 seed. I think they're closer to like a 6 or 7 seed with Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, all things considered. I'm going to say over for that. Over for that, man. So there we go. Picks locked on December 22nd. That is going to be my final pickage right there, guys. Hopefully you guys, agree with my take. If you not, let me know in the comment section below. I know there's not everybody's going to agree. That's just not how these videos work, right, man? But no, this was picks.nba.com/team-wins-totals. That's how I did this. If you guys want to do it yourself, that's all we got, though, man. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out.